I planted, I watered, but God makes it grow. I planted, I watered, but God makes it grow. But God makes it grow. But God be the glory. God lives.
Hello and welcome to But God Ministry Seed Planters Podcast. Today we'll be talking about 1 Corinthians 10:9.
It is written, "Nor should we put Christ to the test, as some of them did and then died from snake bites." Let's split it like always we do. So, what is a test?
Okay, so let's go over what a test is. A test is a procedure intended to establish the quality or performance or reliability of something. In the Bible, you see it as a process that God uses to refine our faith, character, and obedience. So let's go over what it means to put Christ into a test.
Christ in a test. Well, it refers like to challenging God's will or challenging God's power or trustworthiness. Sometimes people say that they're walking in faith, and in fact they know in their hearts that the Lord has not called them to do what they say that they are gonna do. So they are just testing Christ in their heart. But you know that the verse is telling us to don't do that. Don't do it. This is more about denying ourselves and do what He wants for our life and not what we want. Eh, in the verse says that they did it. They did it before and they were bitten by snakes. So how was that?
Okay, so let's take a look at what the word says. You can find it in Numbers 21, 4 through 9. Then they journeyed from Mount Hor by the way of the Red Sea to go around the land of Edom, and the soul of the people became very discouraged on the way, and the people spoke against God and against Moses. Why have you brought us up out of Egypt to die in the wilderness? For there is no food and no water, and our soul's loaves is worthless bread. So the Lord sent fiery serpents among the people, and they bit the people, and many of the people of Israel died. Therefore the people came to Moses and said, We have sinned, for we have spoken against the Lord and against you. Pray to the Lord that he take away the serpents from us. So Moses prayed for the people. Then the Lord said to Moses, Make a fiery serpent and set it on a pole, and it shall be that everyone who is bitten, when he looks at it, shall live. So Moses made a bronze serpent and put it on the pole. And so it was, if a serpent had bitten anyone when he looked at the bronze serpent, he lived. So let's just take that down and solidify that into something smaller. So the people were talking bad about Moses and God, and there was a consequence for that. But God, rich in his mercy, gave them a way out by looking at the serpent. So let me ask you a question. What is the representation of this in the Bible?
Well, how did they solve the problem? They were looking at the snake, which is on the pole. In the second book of Kings, chapter 18, verse 4 says that he broke up the bronze serpent that Moses had made because the people of Israel had been offering sacrifices to it. So comes Hezekiah and destroys all those idols. And that's the problem, that sometimes the Lord bless you and now that blessing becomes your idol. Then you forget that He gave it to you. It's like people start saying, "Oh, this is my life. I want to do whatever I want because it's my life," and they forget who gave them that life. And then you also have Jesus talking about the serpent, which is in John chapter 3, verses 14 and 15. If you can help me reading that.
Okay, sure, I can do that. So let's go to the word and see what it says. And as Moses lifted up the serpent in the wilderness, even so must the Son of Man be lifted up, that whoever believes in him should not perish but have eternal life. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whoever believes in him should not perish but have everlasting life.
So you see, they have the snake lifted up, and when you look, you are healed. And now we have the Son of Man, which is Jesus, lifted up on the cross. And if you believe, you are healed, saved, and you have eternal life. But it says that he made a snake with bronze. What is the connection there?
That is a really good question, David. So, for instance, bronze, being a durable and heat-resistant metal, it's often associated with judgment in the Bible. In Exodus, in chapter 27, 1 through 2, the altar in the tabernacle, for instance, was overlaid with bronze, symbolizing the judgment of sin through sacrifice. The bronze serpent, therefore, symbolized that God's judgment was against the sin that was causing the snakes to bite.
Judgment of sin through sacrifice. That was really, really good. So that would be it for today. Just remember, you can participate in the comments. If you have questions, you can send it to us. At the end, just be encouraged to put your eyes on Jesus and not in your idols that sometimes are the blessings that he gives you. As it is written, I planted,
And I watered,
but God makes it grow.
To the test, no answered calls, no return to text. Everyone's too busy, everyone forgets, but God be the glory.